Hi, my name is Daudi Mugabe and this is Business Mike episode 37. Thank you so much, Patience, for joining us today on Business Mike. Could you just briefly tell us about yourself and what you do?
Okay. As you know, my name is Patience Maame Mensah. I'm a Ghanaian. I currently graduated from the Catholic University of Milan. I was with the Accra campus where I studied E for Impact Entrepreneurship, Global Business Sustainability. This is where I was able to draw up a business plan, that's Indulgence business plan. That's why I studied on the trades and how their business model really helped me bring out Indulgence. So basically that's me, that's Patience. And Indulgence is a home management agency. What we do is we do home maintenance, we do home care delivery, that is care for the aged, babysitting, and we also do home grooming and relaxation therapies, hair, body, nails, facial treatment, massages, yoga, meditation, and counseling. So that's what Indulgence does.
Okay, and at what point did you know that your business would work? What basically inspired you to do this particular business? Was there a gap you saw? Was it something that you were challenged with? Did you hear it from friends? What sparked the idea?
Okay, let me use myself. As a working class woman, I was working with a company, right? And I was also schooling at that same time. But I realized that there was no much time to clean my home. Sometimes I can't even make it to the salon to do my hair and all that. And I realized most people had the same problems in Ghana. People are too busy with work. They needed help with their homes. And in school, I did a survey via a questionnaire to the estate houses, and I realized the demand was there. So I sat down and I asked myself, how can I solve this pain? How can I solve this need? That is when I combine all these three services as one company. And the demand is still there. So that is it. The survey helped me.
And which one of the services, for the period you've been doing it, seems to be the most demanded?
The most demanded is the nanny services, especially the babysitting.
Okay. Now, you mentioned something very interesting with your survey, because many people, when they start their businesses, they can have a very nice idea, but they don't know how to make sure that it's an idea that can actually work. How to get the proof that this thing actually is needed. And so your tactic, I think, was very, very important in your survey. Can you just share with us some of the questions you would ask people about if you want to start a business? What sort of answers are you looking for from a survey?
Okay. I had a target in mind because I want to create a niche market. So I went to these target areas. That's the prime areas, the estate houses. I went there sometimes through personal interviews or through questionnaires for them to fill out. And some of the questions were, how much are you willing to pay? If you get home, your house is cleaned, your children are being picked up from school, they are being taken care of. So you come home, and instead of the stress at the salons and spa, joining long queues, you can call on us 247 to fix your hair, your nails. And all the answers were yes, 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 yes. And people were willing to pay premium. And no one has seen that niche. So that was the right time for me to capture it.
Sometimes you may have an idea and you don't know that it's actually one that could be premium until you ask. So if you don't ask, you'll never know even what price to charge sometimes.
Exactly.
So is your business one of those whereby you're very much hands-on? Because I would imagine you have a number of clients and therefore you probably have a team. So how do you work out things like training, for instance, giving your workers or your teammates the best experience they can to make sure that your customers have a quality experience?
Right. Yeah, I'm working with a team. Most of them are advisors, partners. And what I do, right, the workers, especially those I'm recruiting for the house helps, I go to the smaller towns, right, those who are out of school and they need something to do. I bring them to Accra. We train them, we groom them to meet the standard because I'm working with the top society members. So we groom them. There are people organize workshops for them and grooming training sessions for them. So we groom them in terms of how they will talk, how they will even walk, the clothes they have to wear to work. And with the grooming, I outsource from the salons and the spas. So I don't have much training to do with them because they are already professionals, right? And with the home care delivery too, I use the midwives, the ex-midwives and trained nurses. So that place too, I don't have much training to do. So with the training, those I recruit from the smaller towns. They are the ones I groom and train with the help of my other team members.
From your experience working in an industry like that, what are some of the challenges that you face?
The bigger challenge, the challenges are there, right? An example, I always want to use my experience. There was this client I was working on, right? And when the worker got there, I think the next month, the client wanted to cancel the contract. I didn't understand. Not knowing, the worker has renegotiated to give the client a better deal. And most people, if you don't get workers you can trust, that's what happens. They end up taking your clients from you.
Right, and that's a bit of a challenge because if you have a business like yours where you train someone, you give them skills that have value, they could easily do that and undercut your price and retain the money that you'd be getting from the client. How do you judge trust? How do you know that the people you're sending out are not going to do that to you?
It takes prayers. What I can say is God, is prayer, because as human beings, you can't trust anyone because you don't know the person's background. You're just training the person to work for you. But you don't know if the person is a thief, if the person, you would never know. So it's just God. You just pray to God to give you the right people. That's all.
How many staff members do you have at the moment?
Okay, permanently, I have 10. But as and when I outsource from maybe the hospitals and the spas and salons. So permanently I have 10.
Right. Now, during our pre-interview chat, before we started the interview, you mentioned that this year is looking very promising. What are some of the nice opportunities that are out there for you this year?
Okay, this year I was talking to the estate developers. So I'm going straight to them. So before maybe a client comes to buy their estate house, they add it to the package that we recommend this company to do your cleaning and babysitting and stuff for you. So I don't need to go to the individuals and market myself. So we are just working directly with the estate developers and property managers. And they've given us the green light. I just signed a contract with them. I'm taking over the whole court.
Wow, that's fantastic. And well, now just going back, because that's a marketing strategy that you've used right now based on the experience you have and the type of clients that you have worked with. But in the very beginning, as soon as you discovered that this is something that can work for me as a business, how did you then create awareness? How did people get to know that you have a service to offer? What methods did you use to market it?
Okay, word of mouth, referrals. I really got referrals because I'm delivering a very good professional services. So people were referring me, recommending me. So I didn't really do much of marketing. And because I was targeting a niche market, I didn't want a lot of people at once. I just wanted to test it with some few people and they just referred me. That's how come I had more clients. So it was just by word of mouth.
Right. And what advice, based on your experience, would you give anyone trying to enter a service like this one? Basically, one where you have a team working on your behalf and something as sensitive as working with clients within their personal space. Because sometimes, depending on who you send to represent you, they may rub the customer the wrong way, and that might have implications on you. So what advice do you have for people trying to get into businesses like that?
Okay. The only advice is I tell them to pray hard before they start recruiting. because workers can really bring you down. One worker can destroy a company you've dreamt of, right? So just pray before you interview whichever worker. And to play it safe, you start your recruitment advertisement from the churches, right? So maybe the pastors can recommend, or maybe a family member can recommend someone to play it safe. You understand? But most importantly, just pray to God to just give you the right workers, because the only thing that can bring a business like this down is your workers.
Yes, that's very, very true. And sometimes, as you've said, you need to be very, very careful with your recruiting, and maybe try and get them from people that you trust or from recommendations that you're comfortable with.
Yes.
Do you currently have any business challenges that you're facing, whereby if there's an expert listening to this interview can help you with? Because sometimes I do interview people from different business backgrounds, and therefore there could be an opportunity for them to help you or to work together. So if there's any challenge that you have at the moment that you feel someone else can address, what is it?
Okay. The only challenge I'm facing right now is capital. Capital, because I need a place like a hostel for my workers, especially the ones I'm bringing from the smaller towns into the city. So my eyes can be on them instead of them scattering about all over the place. I want them to be one. And also, basically that is capital. That's what the challenge I'm facing right now, to employ more people, because the demand is growing.
Right. Now, your business has a very interesting name, Indulgence. Can you just briefly tell us why you chose that name?
Okay, I was looking for a name that means a lot. A name that will bring to mind relaxation. You hear of indulgence, and what you think of, what am I going to indulge in? You understand? It's all about pampering my clients. That's the whole idea. I want my clients to be comfortable. That is why I chose Indulgence. I want to give them something to indulge in.
What's your best memory at Indulgence so far? How long have you been in business, and what is your favorite moment thus far?
Okay, I've been in business for 1 year. My favorite moment is when we worked on someone and the person recommended us to Learners of Africa. Yeah, I had Indulgence featured on one of their startup projections at Learners of Africa.
Yeah, and that's actually how I got in touch with you, through that website. So it's opening opportunities bit by bit, and obviously now you're on this show, which you never know who might listen to it, and then the Rolling Stone continues on and on. If you had a time machine, so basically if you could go back to a time when you were 18 years old, what book would you give yourself as an 18-year-old, and then what film would you recommend yourself to watch?
Okay, talking of a book, I've loved to read The Alchemist at age 18, because I read it and it's really inspired me. It tells you to follow your dreams. The signs are there, so you just follow it, follow your dreams, and you can make it. If you are passionate about something and you want to do it, the whole universe conspires in helping you achieve that dream.
Right. And what about a movie you would recommend?
Talking of movie, I don't know yet.
Okay, what about some advice? Right now, you've lived through life, you've gotten some experience, business experience, personal experience. If you had an opportunity to talk to yourself as an 18-year-old, what advice would you give yourself?
The advice I give myself is follow your dreams. Do something for yourself. You shouldn't wait for people to help you, or you shouldn't wait to get things done by people. You dream it, and so far as you dream it, you can achieve it. That's what I believe in. And I will encourage myself that I can do whatever I want to do. It's possible. There is nothing impossible. If you really want to achieve something and you're passionate about it, you can do it.
Lastly, can you just tell us how people can get in touch with you via email or social media?
Facebook.com/indulgence. By email, you can get in touch with me, mameequiam@gmail.com. MA again, @gmail.com.
I'm going to put all this information on your show notes page. So anyone who wants to get that contact mail as well as the social media, it will be on businessmike.com/indulgence. That's INDULGENCE. So businessmike.com/indulgence. Thank you so much for your time, Patience. We really appreciate you sharing your experience with us, and I'm sure that those listening that are planning on starting their own business have definitely benefited from this interview.
I'm glad I could do that. Thank you for the opportunity to.
Thank you so much for listening to Business Mike today. And if you'd like to listen to more episodes just like this one, simply go to businessmike.com. I would love to hear from you. So if you've got any questions or suggestions about the show, simply drop me an email at daudi@businessmike.com. Thanks again for listening, and until next Monday, take care.